Hello and welcome to another video. For many people visiting Japan, and for those of us living in Japan for that matter, the image of the Shinkansen is that it can be expensive. That's certainly true, but did you know that there's a Shinkansen you can take for just 330 yen? Well, there is, and today I'm going to take it. And I hope you'll join me for the journey. So, this is Hakata Station in Kyushu, and this train is the train we're going to take. And the journey we're going to make is from Hakata to Hakata Minami. It's a very short journey of just 8 minutes. The service starts at Hakata, and it tends to be operated by a Kodama Shinkansen, which has just arrived from somewhere further along the line. You can see that although the train leaves from the Shinkansen platform, it doesn't actually have a Shinkansen train name. It's just, in this case, number 811. And actually, that's a hint as to why the train is so cheap. It's operated by a Shinkansen train, and it runs on Shinkansen lines, but it's not defined as a Shinkansen. It's actually a limited express train, and it's correspondingly cheaper than a Shinkansen would be. Anyway, let's get on. I'd better just blur the passengers' faces here until we leave the station. Did you know that Japan is one of the few countries in the world, it may be the only country in fact, where people have copyright over their own faces? In other words, to put it simply, it's not illegal to take a photograph of someone in a public place, but it is illegal to publish that photograph. So in other words, you can't put it on the internet, you can't publish it in a book or something without permission from the person whose face is being represented. It certainly can make taking videos like these rather challenging, let's say. Anyway, we've left Hakata Station now and we're threading our way through the centre of the city. What I'll do is, it's only 8 minutes as I say to Hakata Minami Station, but I'll speed up the video here. While we're on the Shinkansen, let me just explain a little bit about the Hakata Minami line itself. The line was opened on the 10th of March 1975 as a line linking the station in Hakata to the Shinkansen depot, about 9 kilometers outside the station. Apparently, the area around the Shinkansen depot had bad transport connections to the centre of Hakata, and finally, on the 1st of April 1990, the line was adapted for use by passenger trains. As I said, all of the trains on the line are Shinkansen trains, but this service is not actually a Shinkansen service. It's a limited express service. If you're familiar with trains in Japan, you'll know that limited express trains, and Shinkansen trains themselves for that matter, have a fare ticket, but also a limited express ticket. For this service, the fare is just 200 yen, and then the limited express surcharge is 130 yen on top of that. I'd say that's a fairly good bargain, in fact. Anyway, we're getting close to the depot now, so I'll slow the video back down to normal speed. The track from Hakata Station out to the depot is elevated, but the depot itself is at ground level, and just here the train starts to dip down from the elevated line towards the depot itself. And here we are, just coming into the depot. There's a simple one-platform station at the edge of the depot, and that's the platform that the service from Hakata station uses. Of course, this being a station at a depot, it should go without saying that there are plenty of trains to see, which, if you're a fan of railways, is a good thing, I'd say. By the way, the trains lined up here are all Sanyo or Tokaido Shinkansen trains, so they are waiting to form services towards Shin Osaka and ultimately on towards Tokyo. And here we are on the platform. It's just long enough for an 8-carriage train. The services tend to run back to Hakata station fairly soon after they've arrived at Hakata Minami. So I'm going to let this train go and catch a later train. As you can see, the station really is quite simple. There's just this one narrow platform and that's it, really. The platform does get a little bit wider closer to the entrance to the station, but it's still very basic. Anyway, this train is just about to head back to Hakata, so let's watch it leave. With that train gone, we can get a better look at the trains stabled in the depot. The trains here are all 16-carriage long N700 series trains. They're the trains used on Nozomi services between Hakata and Tokyo. They're very impressive trains, especially when you see them at their top speed of 300 kilometers an hour passing through a station. Another thing that's really impressive is just how accurately the trains are, well, parked, for want of a better word. They're aligned almost to the centimetre, it seems. Anyway, I need to buy a ticket back to Hakata, so before I forget, I'm going to go and do that now. The ticket vending machine at Hakata Minami station sells the smaller, simpler tickets compared to Hakata. Actually, I'm going to let this train leave as well. This is the next service back to Hakata, but to be honest, I'm having too much fun here. The train in the background is also headed to Hakata. It's an empty Shinkansen heading from the depot to the station to form a service to Tokyo. It's 16 carriages long, the same as all the other Nozomi trains, but at this speed it feels a lot longer than 16 carriages. Still going, and this must be the final carriage just around now, yeah. We mustn't forget the Shinkansen hidden right at the very back of the lineup, the 500 series. I made a video about these trains a couple of months ago. They're one of the most popular Shinkansen because they just look so cool, but unfortunately they're nearing the end of their lives now. Actually, come to think of it, the Railstar trains, like this train just leaving now, can't have too much life left either. They were introduced back in 2000, so 24 years ago now. They've only ever operated on JR West, so between Hakata and Shin Osaka. In other words, they've not had the long distance high speed running like the Nozomi trains to Tokyo have. So they've probably got 2 or 3 years left, I'd say, but even so, it'll be sad to see them go. I really can't get over just how accurately these trains are parked. It's incredible. Another train leaving the depot for Hakata Station to form a Nozomi service to Tokyo. This is an N700 Supreme train. The Supreme trains are the newest variant of the N700 series. We've been through N700, N700A, that was a small a, N700A big A, and now N700 Supreme S. It really is about time we had a new design, or at the very least, a new name. Alright, here's another service to Hakata, just entering the platform. This is one of the trains that operate services between Shin Osaka and Kagoshima in the very south of Kyushu. In fact, when this train gets to Hakata Station, I'm pretty sure it will form a service all the way to Shin Osaka. These trains were introduced into service on the 12th of March 2011. This date was when the full Shinkansen line between Hakata and Kagoshima was inaugurated. However, all the festivities to mark the opening of the new line were cancelled. Any idea why? Well, March the 11th, 2011, the day before the new Shinkansen was inaugurated, was the day of the Great East Japan earthquake, accompanied of course by the terrible tsunami that claimed so many lives and caused such huge damage. On the morning of March the 12th, 2011, so the day after the earthquake, I went to Mihara Station to see the very first of these trains in public service. However, everything felt very subdued. Somehow, at that point in time, trains didn't really seem to matter that much. Oops, it looks like I've missed this service as well. Still, it doesn't matter. I'm heading south through Kyushu after this, but I have plenty of time in Hakata Station before my train leaves, so missing this train is really not a problem. Anyway, if you're in Hakata and you're looking for something a little bit different to do, something a little bit off the beaten track you might say, then a 330 yen Shinkansen trip is a pretty good option, I would say. It's especially good if you like railways, I'd say. You can get some fairly good views from this platform. Anyway, I think it's just about time to finish this video here. Have you ever been to Hakata Minami? If you have, please do leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Thank you as ever for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little visit to the Shinkansen depot. I'll hopefully be posting more railway videos fairly soon, but for now, I think it's time to say goodbye. So, goodbye.